knowing myself, I didn't really want to go with an alter ego perspective, but I felt like with what I was expressing with my music, I wanted to not limit myself to where I'm from and just my pure identity. So with music, I was hoping to expand my horizon in being a creative artist. So I just created kind of an alter ego that would best suit the type of person I was trying to portray to the world. How I came up with the name Falco Holmz? I feel like I'm gonna get that question a lot. Um, yeah, I am. So the way I came up with it is I wanted to originally start a band, just like how every child who loves music wants to. It was originally meant to be a rap band though. I don't know how that was gonna work. Um, so I wanted to put together rap and rock and roll. It's very weird how that came about. So you just as a kid you let your imagination run wild. So yeah, so I always had that idea of creating a band. Then when I got to Joburg, I met a lot of new artists as well, artists who were similar minded as me. So I wanted to start a band, but that didn't happen because life hits everyone, people go separate directions. So um, I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna be by myself doing this music shit by myself. So the name that I had for this band was the Falcos, because I originally liked the name the Falcons. So I was gonna call the band the Falcos, but that didn't happen. And I was like, I'm not gonna call myself the Falcos. So let me come up with another name. So I took that and obviously just removed the S to Falco. Then I realized, fuck, there's already an artist. I think he's from Europe somewhere. His name is Falco. Back in the day, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not trying to get sued or any shit like that. So I was like, okay, Falco. Then I knew I had to put kind of like a last name to it to make it to just make it easy to say and to like basically roll off the tongue when people say it. So the first thing I thought about was like, fuck. Um, if I'm creating an alter ego, who are one of my superheroes? Like kind of fictional characters that I look up to. I obviously didn't want to go for like a dumbass Marvel hero, because I was gonna sound corny. Falco, Falco Parker, nah, fuck no. So I went with Falco Holmes because I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. I've seen a lot of the movies and a bunch of the series. So I've always seen myself as a problem solver. So when I was watching Sherlock Holmes back in the day, I was like, fuck, I fuck with how he always, you know, looks at the slightest details to solve the biggest fucking problems. So yeah, Holmes because of that. And obviously, I didn't want to spell it like everyone does. I had to put in a little bit of that Falco effect and do what I had to do. A little bit of spice. um, I started making music off as like it was banter vibes, you know. We were just fucking around with the boys, and I remember telling one of my mates who was actually the one who owned the studio, telling him like, "Fuck, bro, I wanna take this shit seriously." Um, I didn't expect myself to sound this good, so let me do more and more. Damn. So the process of making the EP was very. There was a lot of turbulence. I think a lot of artists can say this about their debut projects, but I wouldn't even call this my debut project. I, I would just call it as my introduction into the game. Before this, I have never made songs, not at this level to say. But the process started back when I was like 14, 14, 15, maybe even a couple of years back before that. I was in the school choir, so that's where the love of music actually started. I actually hated it though. I hated being in the choir because you're kind of forced. Because I wasn't playing any sports, so they're like, "Yeah, dude, you need to do something. You need to be in the fucking choir." So I was in the choir, um, but I was doing bass, and I have zero bass, so I don't know how that happened. Um, I was just there to show face. Then then my love of music grew from there. Funny enough, and then when there were talent shows at school, we had or any functions. I would always do something music related. So I remember this one time a friend of mine had virtual DJ, and he discovered this thing. Because remember back in the day, like no, not back in the day. It was actually like back in like 2008. But it sounds like it's back in the day now. But during those times, like there was this software, virtual DJ, right? And then he discovered that you can actually record yourself through the like voice memo thing that your laptop comes out with, and take those vocals, put them in the other deck, have the beat on the other deck, and then record simultaneously. And then that's how we would record songs. It sounded like ass, but I mean, you gotta start somewhere. And then doing that, and then obviously we grow up, come to school. Then for a majority of my life, music wasn't really in my head. I was pursuing a way more business journey, and funny enough, I'm here now. So the process of making this EP for me starts then. Everything that happened recently, like in terms of like actually the production of this EP and these specific songs, it started a year ago. Um, a year ago this time, I didn't have any songs. Can you believe it? I had zero songs, and I was just another guy in the studio trying to make a song. So I had a dope mentor who basically showed me the way, and the skills I had to sharpen to get to a point where I can do it professionally. Even now, I know it's nowhere near what I want it to sound like and look like. So it's a growing phase. You need to start somewhere. So the process of the EP started last year, and yeah, I've just been working on perfecting the craft, and throughout the process, I've made these 4 songs, and yeah, and that's how the process was. It's very hard to describe. Um, I always tell people that for me, I don't have any preconceptions about a song before I actually hear the beat and kind of let myself um, feel the beat to the fullest, and then I start actually. It's always like a plain canvas, so I always use different paints. Um, there's different drawings and different meanings to the painting, so I always try to make sure that I tell a story that can evoke a feeling, a story that can make you feel something. Definitely. So my style is very versatile. I wouldn't I wouldn't say there's a specific genre I'm kind of into, but I try to do what I feel. If I feel the beat, and I feel obviously the session, and I'm in the space, um, and when it hits me, it hits me. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I could make a gospel song. The other day I could make a rock song. Another day I could make a house song. To me, it's honestly like I'm in Wonderland, and I get to do what the fuck I want. So I hope people, when people listen to this stuff, they actually understand my perspective, and the story I'm trying to tell. The third song, obviously, Echo is the second song, and then the third song is Worth It. Worth It is a play on R&B and like hip hop. Like I said, versatility is a big thing for me. So I wrote that song. Basically, it was a love song, but I wanted to add a different element to it. So it's a love song with a twist, but it definitely it's for the mummies, it's for the babies. Then the last song is Silos. That's the sad song out of the bunch. It's also the last song I recorded. After some time, I found it hard after recording the three songs to get the fourth song because I didn't know what I wanted to say anymore. But then Silos comes in because it basically talks about the period during COVID when we're separated from a lot of people. Um, so it's I think it's one of the realest songs on the EP where it really going through my mind at that specific period of time. And all those songs come together, they form the EP for Peace Sake. Why did I go with the name for Peace Sake? I think for a lot of reasons, it's because the biggest reason I'd say is I do a lot of things for peace sake. A lot of my actions are are decided upon like what type of peace am I gonna get from something. So I made this EP for peace sake. I made this interview for peace sake. I connect with people for peace sake. I do a lot of things for peace sake, and I want you to listen to this EP for peace sake. And on top of that, four for peace sake, and there's four songs on the EP. So yeah, that was basically the concept, and I came up with the title immediately after I made Silos because it basically put everything together and gave a theme to what the EP is about.